Hi, I'm Fearghal.
Hi, I'm Joe. We're both from Neptune Belfast.
And we thought we'd do a little review of some of the magazines that are printed for the home industry in Ireland and just give our ideas and have a chat. And actually, I'm doing it over a cup of tea today because it's freezing.
But I don't drink tea.
But we'll probably do it over a glass of wine in the future, and we'd love to hear your feedback on any of the ideas and so on. So do you want to kick it off with your bit?
Yeah, I mean, we were just thinking really of how we like to support other local businesses. You know, we work quite a lot in store with other businesses sort of around locally on the road and in Belfast. We do quite a lot of events with local businesses. We have some artists displaying on our walls here. So we're just like to encourage, other people in the same industry and different industries as well as us, and we just thought this would be a good opportunity to see what else is going on out there. So have a wee look through, see what else is in there. There'll be recommendations. Obviously it's Ireland's Homes, Interiors and Living magazine, so there'll be recommendations for food and travel as well. But we were just going to kick it off by having a quick run through and look at some of the homes and some of the features and things that are in here. So we've marked a few bits and bobs. Near the very front there's a nice big full page image for one of our tables. This is our Stratford table, but we'll try not to dwell too much on us. But
we're not going to dwell. So what I was going to say about this one, actually, I really like this image. If you get a chance to check it out. So I really like it because the situation, they've done oversized foliage on the table, and also it's set in a classical building. But there's one really interesting point, and a lot of artists use this in art. They've slipped in a little bit of red here with the chair, which just really catches the eye, and I really like that as a little hint. So for me, this image is about oversized foliage and that little bit of creativity in the corner. And just think about things like that when you're decorating a room. I think these are good ideas.
Yeah, it's a great image, yeah. So that opens up the interior update feature. Let's see where we go to next.
So we've color-coded this. So Joe has the purple and I've got the yellow tab, so go for it, Joe.
And it's not all about interiors actually. So the first thing I've highlighted actually is just something that I'm watching at the minute, which is House of the Year. Obviously Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen is back snooping around local properties, and I've really found it interesting. The first couple of episodes that I've watched, it's on BBC iPlayer at the minute, so I think it's over. Some of you may already have completed it and will know what the House of the Year is, so no spoilers please. Don't be writing it down below. The magazine also has a podcast that they filmed with Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen as well, and so there's a little QR code and you can scan that and you can go and watch that podcast too. But yes, I'd recommend it as a TV recommendation at the minute. One
of the things that when I look at things like that, I like to think, would I live in that house or not? And I haven't watched that series yet, but I maybe we'll dip into that later in this discussion.
Yeah, and there's definitely some where you would think, you know, as amazing as the houses are, they're maybe not so practical.
Yeah.
Wouldn't suit my family.
No. I'm a bit older than you, so don't have the same needs, but it's all relevant. I highlighted this page because I really like this image here of the three foxes in this picture. So there's an artist in County Down called Jackie Traynor, and I haven't had a chance to check her out yet, but I'd really like to. So that's a recommendation. Go and have a look at that. And also there's a nice stool called Dairy King, Cork Crafts and Design. So yeah, shout out to them. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, those little dairy style stools are quite cool. We do a version of it here, a little three-legged one, a little sort of milking type stool. And yeah, they're just really useful. So
there you go.
Really cool.
You're up next.
Yeah, well, I highlighted here, so again, something close to our own heart here in store. And as I say, I'll try not to make it all about us. But Everhot, who are a partner brand of ours, and they do these amazing range cookers, just work on a 3-pin electrical plug, and they come with induction heating on the top. So something that we all love in store here, you know, we talk about them a lot day to day, but they've just brought out a new colorway. And this color is called Clay. It's kind of a really rich terracotta. I will admit, when we first saw the sample, I wasn't sure about it, but actually now I've started to see it in some imagery, and it's paired up with these sort of really deep turquoisey blues. I think it works really well, and the gold handles and the gold hinges and things. So we're actually messing about with it in store at the minute. We're thinking of making some changes to our kitchens in store here, and we're toying with the idea of the clay Everhot and a nice flex blue set of cupboards.
Yeah, we'll be toying with that idea for a very, very short period of time. Joe, would you actually have it in your house? Tell me.
An Everhot?
No, the that particular colour.
The clay. My house is a fairly safe one when it comes to colour. I would love to say yes, but I think it works well paired with these very bold colours. So it looks really well there.
It looks good.
I definitely have an Everhot. I may choose something a bit more subtle, but I'm just not brave when it comes to colour.
No, I'm not brave. I just want to keep the classics easy on the eye.
Yeah.
And then change some of the colours, you know, when you can.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, the cooker itself isn't that daring or out there. The colour on the cooker is probably reasonably safe, but I think it looks best when it's paired with these brighter colours. And I don't know if I would have my kitchen cabinets in these brighter colours, you know. I
think you also have to ask yourself, like, the 10 or 20 year question, like, is that fashionable? And is it going to look good in 10 or 20 years? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, it's a no, but
the colour itself, you mean?
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, again, it's a classic style of cooker. The cooker itself isn't going to date.
No, the cooker's awesome.
The colour, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, we say the same about a lot of what we do here in terms of kitchen cabinetry. You know, the kitchen cabinets will never date, but the colour may.
Yeah.
I suppose the beauty of a painted kitchen, though, is that you can repaint it if the colour dates. You can change your mind 10 years down the line.
Who's up next? Purple. You.
Yeah, so I just highlighted some arches in here, which I think are a really cool way to introduce arches into your home. There's a few different mirrors in here actually on this page. There's this little triple one with the gold, got a little sort of Art Deco vibe going on, and then there's a taller one over there. Arches, they're really in at the minute, but you know, architecturally they look amazing, but it's not easy to incorporate them into a house that's already built. It's fine if you're building a new build. Very Shea McGee, very American in my opinion, but definitely appearing more and more in some of the houses that you'll see on some of those TV programs. But you know, if your house is already built and you can't knock holes in your wall and build arches in, then one good way of incorporating them is through things like prints, pictures and mirrors, and I just thought it was interesting that there are a couple of them on the same page here. So just a nice way to do something like that. When you
say things like they're very in at the moment, where are your reference points for things like that? Like, are you looking on social media or?
You see a lot on social media, and then just a few of the TV shows I've watched on Netflix as well. And again, I think people might correct me here in the comments, but we're always a little bit behind what goes on in America. Probably comes across into the UK, and then Ireland probably even a little bit behind that.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just starting to see more in things like these magazines, social media, those American influences, very light washed oaks, more arches in hallways and things, especially where it's new build homes. But as I say, when you're looking at older homes, you don't see so much of that. But I think it's just coming through as American influences is what's always been the case,
Yeah. Friend of the store, Carly. So I was actually chatting to her this morning. Hi, Carly. And do you want to talk a little bit about?
Yeah, just again marked it because Carly would do a bit of work with us. She's been in the store before. She's basically the property flipper, and she writes a column for the magazine, or has written a column for the magazine for the last 2 years. And reading this actually turns out to be her last one, because she's had this dream of flipping properties till she gets to the point where she can build her own dream home. And that dream home is now almost built and nearing completion. And so this sort of 2-year contract that she had with the magazine has come to an end, and she's moving on to other things. But very interesting if you want to have a read of that and you think that she's someone who can help you if you want to begin a property flipping journey. She runs courses throughout the year.
Several throughout the year, and her Instagram handle is
Flipping Belfast.
Flipping Belfast.
He surprised me there. I wasn't ready for that. Let's see what's next. So on to the homes then.
This is one of mine. So we are looking at the various houses that are in the magazine, and I love this one. This is just a beauty. So this one is, I think it's in Belfast. This one actually, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is Belfast. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, it's just that classic double-fronted house that you would see in any of the nice Belfast suburbs, with classic tiles inside the front hall, beautiful stained glass windows, and all the architectural features that you would imagine in a house of that day. Now, that's been updated and modernised and brought lots of light into the space. What do you think so far?
Yeah, I remember reading this actually, and it's the home of a property stager. You've used the word stage there a couple of times, and her name's Sheila. So she bought this property. It's an old Georgian property, I think, but she's done this incredible extension on the back of it, and staged it out to the standard that obviously she would use if she was staging properties for sale. I think it's a beautiful home. Like
it's a really beautiful home.
Would you live in it?
Wow, this is important for me. The colour scheme for me doesn't work because I like more of the neutrals. They're very bold, and it talks about that talks to her personality, and obviously, clearly she's expressing that. But would I live in it? I think it's really beautiful. The livability factor for me is an 8 out of 10. But I would change colours.
Good enough.
What about you?
I think I probably agree with you insofar as you and I seem to play it quite safe then when it comes to colour, and I would say the same. I go neutral just because I'm not brave enough, but I have to admire Sheila's bravado here. I think what she's done by painting her ceilings in these dark colours, and I think it's worked out amazingly. I sometimes say that I wouldn't take that risk. But she's gotten it right. When you take that risk and you get it wrong, then obviously you're going to be pretty deflated. But I think these dark ceilings that she has, and certainly in the bedrooms, the colours that she's chosen, these really rich, deep, velvety sort of tones, and then the likes of the bathroom floors and things, and the terracottas. I think they all work wonderfully together, and actually, like you say, the house has a lot of period features, and she's kept them all in there and really respected that. And although she's done some modern twists here and there in some of the bedrooms and in the kitchen, I do think it all works, and it's a lovely big bright open home as well. So I would 100% live in it. I think it's a lovely home. And
she's got a piece of art on the wall, obviously, that's up in the eaves beside a drum machine with adamant on it, and if you're a child of the 80s, you probably like it.
Yeah, so there's some cool bits in there as well, isn't there?
This house I chose, I pulled out this one as well, and there's some character, some elements to it that I think are really brilliant. I love, and actually I'm going to get a little bit controversial because there's a couple of elements that I'm not so sure about. Let's see what you think. This first page, the intro to this section of the magazine, has beautiful oak stairs and terracotta tiles on the floor done in herringbone fashion, and I think those two classic things go so well together. Here on the wall, I don't know who this artist is, but I love this piece of art.
Yeah, I thought you liked that art.
I really like that art. It just sings to me. It's just happiness on a piece of canvas. Then we go into it a little bit further, and for me, it's a home that looks like an amazing showroom or a statement again about the personality of the people that live there. It almost looks, for me, with this vaulted ceiling in the kitchen, it looks like there's a lot of Spanish influence, Mediterranean influence, terracotta tiles again, lots of curves.
It's got the arches. And then there's these big rolling walls moving from one room into the other. For me, that wouldn't work, but I see it as a style statement. Yeah.
Livability factor for me, it is of its again, it's a really bold statement. It's a really good statement. I think the people are really brave. Would love to go and stay in it if it was an Airbnb.
Yeah.
4 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, fair point. I mean, it's got a load of arches, but not in the style that I talked about earlier, the American influence sort of classical style. It's very, very modern and almost futuristic in places. It's beautiful. in a futuristic sort of a way. But yes, I would say the same. I'd love to go and stay. I think if it was a really cool hotel, you'd come away telling all your friends about it. But would you live in it every day? And you know, again, I mentioned earlier the kids and the mess. Like, I couldn't keep it as perfect as it is there. Like, you know, but yeah, an amazing statement and an amazing job from the people who live there. But yeah, probably not for me in terms of actually living in it.
Livability factor, are you going to give it a score?
Yeah, I mean, probably a 5 out of 10 for me.
5 out of 10 for you? Yeah, good.
That's not to say it's not beautiful, and for that particular family, I'm sure it works absolutely amazingly.
For them, it's a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
11 out of 10, but yeah. We can only think about our own situation. Did you want to talk about this home as well?
We can do it. Why don't we do it together? What do you think?
Yeah, it's a lovely big sort of what looks like extended farmhouse with you know, big modern extension on it. So I think underneath there somewhere there probably is an old stone farmhouse in the heart of this one. But I think it looks beautiful. It's a style that I really like, actually. You know,
with a classic, with a bit joined on.
Yeah, sort of an old and new combination, like, you know.
And nicely kept grounds.
Lovely kept grounds, yeah. Again, more classical in style with all the panelling and the artwork in the hallway. Very much more sort of a little bit more on brand for us.
Yeah,
I would say, you know, a little bit more like what we do here in the showroom.
Absolutely pristine.
Yeah.
Beautifully presented.
Gorgeous. Again, brave with colour and here and there, but it's little pops of colour. It's not the same as the one that we talked about with Sheila earlier on, with this sort of dark painted ceilings and, you know, heavy sort of velvety walls, etc. It is a lot of sort of greys, whites, monochromes, but again, the bravery's there with. But
it's like things that you can change, so you can easily change the colour of that piece of furniture. That looks like a chair, so you could, you know, if you don't like the dark blue, and I'm afraid I'm not a fan, then, you know, get rid of it and put in a classic leather chair, something like that.
And the same, obviously, you can make your sort of style statements seasonally with things like cushions and throws, which is obviously done here as well. So they've incorporated that blue in with their cushions and throws here. But like you say, should they want to change the colour of that in the future, nothing else fundamental has to change. Just change your cushions and your throws, and everything will tie in neatly.
One of the things that I think is really important in houses, and actually we're doing an event on this, aren't we, is foliage.
Yes.
Plants.
Yeah.
House plants, and how to look after them.
Exactly.
And
so
I love, for me, I love more. I love lots and lots of house plants. Yeah. I just think they soften the space.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Keeping them alive is another problem.
That is a challenge.
We have at home, we have a 20-year-old lily, but every other plant we've ever owned has lasted about 20 days.
Are you sure it's not plastic?
No, definitely real, but the easiest kept plant was bought for us before we moved into our first home. But the yes, so we'll be planning an event with a company called The Green East, where we're going to like make a little terrarium, but they will also give advice on caring for plants and how to look after them and increasing their longevity. So keep an eye out for that one. Actually, we'll be advertising that soon.
These blues are very strong, and I don't know, am I missing something here? Was that a fashion thing? I mean, I know a few years, 3-4 years ago, people were talking about blue kitchens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was incorporated in downstairs there, as you saw, and then once we go upstairs, you've got quite a dark blue wall and a deep sort of blue bed there as well. Might be just her favourite colour.
Yeah.
The same, it's on the kitchen island there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It is a beautiful home. I think livability factor for me, I'm going to give this one a 9. I think it's stunning, and it's got its own drive, and yeah,
I think it's very livable, and like you said, the only bits that you maybe didn't quite like are the bits that are very changeable. You know what I mean? It would be easy to move in there and make it your own.
When we were in the office, both of us, of all the articles in here, both of us immediately gravitated towards this beautiful little terraced house, and I think this is a really good example of what to do if you don't have much space and you want to, you know, turn it into a TARDIS, make it bigger on the inside than the outside. I think this is a great example.
Yeah, it's for me. It's a I wish I knew then what I know now type thing. You know, my first house was from the outside looked very similar to that. That is a bit bigger on the inside. Actually, that has 3 stories where we only had 2. But you know, if I'd had the vision and the imagination back then to do something like that with it, you know,
amazing.
it would have it would have sold for a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
So it would, but yeah, just the, you know, the lovely the facade of it is beautiful. The purple door and even just the little checkered tiles on the doorstep just really look amazing, and just sash windows that you can see clearly in, beautiful chandeliers upstairs. So even just the curb appeal of it is amazing. But when you go inside, you've got that sort of classic 2 up, 2 down feel. It does look as if it's been extended. But living room, which is quite small, but actually they've squeezed in this lovely big plush orange velvet or rusty velvet L-shaped sofa. Really lovely fireplace. Looks like probably a retro fireplace that's been modernised a little bit, and then extended out the back into this lovely kitchen. So it's a nice big L-shaped kitchen with an island, room for 3 stools at the breakfast bar. So plenty of room for a family of 4 or 5, I would say, probably live in this.
And then just space-saving ideas like doing the built-in cupboards either side of the fireplace.
Yeah.
So not needing a lot of furniture, but the furniture that they have got it's almost looks like an oversized sofa for the room, but it works for me. I think it's good.
I mean, again, I know from experience living in a house like this, storage is key. You know, you need as many places that you can shove stuff and close the door and head away as possible. Like, you know, so that was really good. There's a lot of cabinets in the kitchen for the size of it. Plus, they have their eating space there. There's no formal dining area that I can see, but they do have that nice breakfast bar. You know, the hallways, all the skirtings and architraves and banisters the whole way up are all beautifully painted. And then again, fairly opulent feel in the bedroom, I think.
Not my taste.
No, it's got a 4-poster bed that's quite classical, and you know, again, sort of shiny bedside cabinets.
Couldn't do that.
It's very well done, like.
It's very, very well done. Love the painted banisters, keeping away from the whites and the blacks and everything else. That's nice, very nice. Moving on.
Yeah, and I just think the standard of finish is excellent. You know, the stripy wallpaper, you know, we've done a few projects. Again, the lovely fabric on the headboards as well. You know, you can see that they've put a lot of thought and effort into absolutely every aspect of design in this home, and it's made it feel really, really homely.
And the stairwell done in a sort of classical kind of
Morrison Code type,
Art Deco style.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's great.
Yeah, I think for the size of the house, and it's great to see a house like that featured in a magazine like this, and it wouldn't look out of place in a TV show like House of the Year or whatever, you know, because... So
2 double bedrooms and a twin bedroom.
Yeah.
Sleeping for 6.
Yeah.
Nice kind of family home vibe to it, or holiday home vibe to it. For me, it's an example of a perfectly done small terraced house in the middle of a town. Got to give it livability. For me, if it was a little bit bigger, but I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I just noticed after I've said that about the TV shows that there's actually a line in here saying it's like something you would see on Grand Designs. So I was right about that. Yeah, I would agree. For me, it's an 8 or a 9. You know, it's a little bit more compact, but yeah, very, very livable and very, very beautiful home. Like so, yeah, it's funny we were both drawn to that one of all the homes in here in the magazine. Like, you know, happy to move on.
Yeah, I think it's just an example of people utilising space in a really, really, really effective way and getting the most value.
So there's lots of nice imagery as we come through here. Some of that wallpaper that we just saw, and the green stripes as well, so are featured in there. So maybe it's very on trend as well, that house. I've tagged this one Eclectic Grandpa. I don't know what that says about me. They call me that around the store as well, so they do. The Grandpa. But I just tagged it. So again, it's just a reference back to what I'm watching on TV at the minute. So we're very into the traders at the minute. So the UK one's just finished. We're watching the Irish one. This is all about getting a sophisticated look that blends old and new. So there's a lot of fashion in here. So leathers and tartans and things are in here, and then it's paired up with furniture, dark mahogany, rich green velvets, etc. And you've got tartan jackets and tartan skirts here, and I'm just thinking about the fashion that Claudia wears on the traders, and it's very very popular at the minute. It's what everybody's talking about, isn't it?
It's not for me.
It's not. No?
It's not for me.
I think it's very in at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which speaks a lot about me actually.
He's just watching the wrong TV shows.
What do I know about fashion? Clearly.
Yeah. You gotta sit in and watch every episode of the Traders from every country around the world.
I still haven't watched it. I tagged this one. This was Spaces That Shape Us.
Oh yeah.
And I just really like this article, and I just really like this room. I really like it. It oozes simplistic taste and calmness. It just looks really calm. And I love the paneling on the wall. It's something we do a lot.
Yeah.
The natural oak against those walls just comes off really nicely, and it's just great. And for me, this is probably my favorite image in the magazine.
Yeah, there's a jute rug in there as well, and there's a lot of natural texture going on in there, isn't
exactly.
there? And then even the sort of floral print where the print is, it's got that sort of throwback to nature as well, doesn't it? So it's one of those rooms where we always find beautiful what we see in nature, and when you look at a room like that, I think the floral prints and the jute rug and the warm oak just feels really natural.
Ultimately, she says here, ultimately our homes and workspaces should be sanctuaries, places that restore rather than deplete us. I couldn't agree more, and I could imagine myself living in a place like that. It's really lovely.
Should have nicked that quote for our little our little camera roll that we put out on Instagram. We usually have a little quote in there every week. Probably should have nicked that one.
Yeah. Not sure, that's another one of mine, but it's again, I suppose, just talking about simple things like colours and so on. Much more my type of colour scheme, simple, the light taupe colours combined with the natural, lots of natural oak and a few flowers. It's nice, it's simple. Yeah.
Our schools.
We tend to find a lot of houses in these magazines are accessorised by lots of products from here. So
Neptune,
it's nice to see it.
And just moving on towards the back of the magazine, so it's homes and lifestyle. I probably should have said at the start, or we should have said at the start, we have no affiliation to this magazine at all. We do advertise in it, full disclosure, but they haven't asked us to do this or anything. But as you move on, you come into sort of things like travel and food and things as well. And it usually features an Irish city break and then a international city break. And both of these cities actually are ones that I've been to recently. I think you've probably been to both of them as well. The first one in Ireland is Cork.
Yeah.
I've travelled sort of fairly extensively around Ireland, mainly for work actually, but nice weekends away as well. And I always love visiting Cork. Last time I was down there, I stayed in the Dean Hotel, which I think was newly opened at the time. Very, very modern, right next to the train station. So I'd recommend it. Beautiful hotel, very easy to get in and out of. Just on the edge of the action, not quite in the city centre, but just a
So what's the vibe? Now, I stayed there maybe 20 years ago. What's the kind of general vibe? Good restaurants, good bars?
It's really cool, and I wouldn't say up and coming. It was probably up and coming 20 years ago. But lots of nice restaurants, millions of bars, loads of hotels actually. I was always spoiled for choice when I was travelling down that neck of the woods. If I wanted to stay in Cork, you could stay in a different lovely hotel on budget as well. It was never that expensive.
Yeah.
And then the food was always lovely. So I loved staying in the Dean that last time I was down. They recommend a few different places here to go and tour and eat and drink and things. There's no mention of one of my favourite things to do in Cork is just browse around the English market, but that may be a bit too obvious. I think maybe everybody does that.
What is in the English market, is it?
It's mainly a food market, food and sort of arts and crafts and stuff. I mean, it's quite famous if you ever watch what's the TV show called? The Young Offenders. Did you watch that movie? Or the TV show?
No, I don't know it.
It's hilarious, but if you ever watch it, it's about Connor and Jock. Connor's mum works at the fish stall in the English market, so it's quite famous for that reason as well. So that sort of brings back memories when you go in. But it's just lovely to go in and eat lunch. Lovely sandwiches and salads and things in there. As I say, it's not mentioned in here.
Good atmosphere.
It's depending on the time of week. But there are a few good recommendations here. So if you're going to Cork, have a read of this. And then the other one is Milan. The international one is Magnificent Milan. So I was lucky enough to go over to Milan last year during International Design Week. I think it was around May time. We got lovely weather, and we went to the big expo. And it's just unbelievable. The biggest furniture and interior designers.
I haven't seen it. I haven't been. I'd really like to go.
It's unbelievable. These are the guys who are furnishing Saudi palaces and the mega yachts and things like,
that's us next year, right?
Yeah, this time next year we'll be doing that.
Yeah. This time next year, Rodney, we're going to be millionaires. Yeah.
But the whole town is just buzzing, like, So I mean, I spent one afternoon just walking around town, down around the Duomo and the big dome shopping centre.
It is amazing. The Duomo is incredible.
Unbelievable.
The food is fantastic.
And the ice cream was great.
Yeah, I went to see Peter Gabriel play there a few years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, awesome. It was really good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful city. Really safe. Really, sort of old and plenty to look at and plenty to see. So, yeah, I would recommend it. But luckily for me, I went during a time when there was just events on everywhere at night. All the doors of all the shops were open. Everybody was serving prosecco and food, and you could just wander in and out. It was just an excellent few days. So yeah, I'd thoroughly recommend visiting Milan that week or any week. Okay, and just getting towards the back of the magazine now, like you've got a bit of cookery and a little bit about local artists and a what's on guide. I have to say I really love the look of this Irish batch loaf here. It looks amazing. Belfast Bops, as we call them,
one of our customers recently cooked something out of our Stories magazine.
Oh, that's right.
And brought me in a beautiful what was it?
It was a pistachio and olive oil cake.
An olive oil cake, yeah. It was really, really good.
Yeah, it was really, like, she'd saw it in our Stories magazine, and you two had a conversation about it then, didn't you?
Yeah, this one.
And then she turned up a few days later with it.
Yeah, and it was delicious.
It was delicious, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of places that you can get inspiration for cookery, but in there the traditional batch loaf recipe is in there. It's from a book called The Irish Kitchen. But yeah, that's it. I think
the next one. So we'll do this every month, and I think the next one we were going to have a glass of wine today, but the weather is too miserable for wine. Yeah. So I think the next one will be done over a little glass of wine, and hope you can come and join us. If you've got any recommendations of anything that you'd like to see, any ideas, anybody you'd like us to collaborate with, we'd love your feedback. Send it through to us and let us know.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.